Hello everyone! Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to clean up the Aethercurrents and Heritage Found. Last time we got the last of the MSQ Aethercurrents, and we actually ended up doing the dungeon at trial afterwards, which I'm glad we went ahead and just did all of that, because that kind of wrapped up the main story for this area. And then now we're going to do the Aethercurrent cleanup like we usually do. And then, not this stream, but the next stream, we'll actually make our way to get to the next zone, because there's a couple of quests we need to do before we get to the final zone. But anyway, let's not dilly-dally anymore. We got our usual 4 blue Aethercurrents that we need to do, but let's take an inventory on the number of overworld ones we need. I think we only need like 2 more. Yeah, there's only 2 more overworld ones than the 4 quest ones. I believe the 2 that we haven't gotten. There's one, I think, over here, and if I recall correctly, it is... yeah, and the last one's over here. So we'll go ahead and get those after we wrap up the blue quest over here. First blue quest we're going to do starts from Dorian. Not Dorian Gray, just Dorian. Or is it Damien? Stress testing. Dorian's uncertain... it's uncertainty, okay. Dorian's uncertainty is palpable. Pardon me, adventurer, but might I trouble you to lend me your aid? I found myself in a rather troublesome predicament. Earlier today, we were sent a soldier and asked to test out its improved combat functionalities. Oh, I can help with that. I asked a hunter to take it out on patrol, but not long afterwards, I lost contact with them completely. I know the signal is weak out there, but I can't help but worry something might have gone terribly wrong. From the look of you, you can handle your fair share of danger, yes? I like the way this guy thinks. Could you go out to the Thunder Yards and see if you can find them for me? Sure. Let's head on out to the Thunder Yards. Now we don't need... yeah, there's no Aether current or no Aetherite out there, so we'll just gotta hoof it. Or, well, I guess the Griffin's hoofing it, not us. As usual, I'm only gonna do one at a time, even though it probably would be more optimal for me to try and do them both at the same time. But I'd like to try and focus on the stories for each of these. Although this one's probably not gonna lead to anything. But a lot of these end up leading to either tribal quests or... in the case of Encheloni, I believe one of them leads to one of the custom delivery NPCs. Or at least that's my guess, considering... actually, I think 2 of them... yeah, it's probably going to be 2 quest lines that lead to the custom delivery NPC that's there. Because I know that, is Anita Wike? Is that his wife's name? She ends up being a custom delivery NPC. But I haven't actually looked up to see what the prerequisite quests are. Obviously, we're going to have most of them done by the time I go and unlock her. Well, it looks like we're getting up here to the orange circle. Convenient orange circle to find someone who's supposedly lost and we lost contact with. You know, I don't know how we're supposed to know that they're just magically here, but it looks like there's a purple circle of doom. They're doom, of course. Ill-fated hunter. I'm guessing that, yes, it looks like it had the correct functionality. By correct functionality, I mean it tried to kill the person. Actually, kind of remembering how to play this class. I mean, after the trial, I actually did that as samurai, and I think I got a little bit more into the swing of how samurai works. Anyway, let's check on this ill-fated hunter. How many souls did you have to use? You saved my life. For a moment there, I thought I'd have to use my regulator. I mean, like, why are you concerned about dying when you have a bunch of souls? I thought that was how this whole society is supposed to work. Where people don't care about, where people aren't worried about dying, so they just end up using their souls. Anyway. Now, I somehow doubt an adventurer like you just so happened to be passing through. That researcher sent you to find me, didn't he? I'd better head back and explain what happened. You may as well come and join me. I'm sure he'll want to know you're safe. I doubt he will. Anyway, let's head on back. Yeah, that's the end of this quest. Just teleport back and save some time. Alright, Mr. Gray, I mean Mr. Dorian, I mean Damien. The hunter told me everything. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for taking such swift action. These soldiers require energy gathered from lightning, and yet lightning also proves to be their weakness. Apparently, it took a nasty jolt in the Thunder Yards and went berserk. There was something in the story about, like, why they don't go over there. Like, I was literally editing that yesterday. They literally don't send them there because that's why they have the hunters. Why are you sending a soldier there? Anyway. Honestly, why are they tinkering with the offensive output when they could be correcting this glaring flaw in the design? Rest assured, the engineer in charge will hear all about this in my report. Sorry for the trouble. I hope this small token will suffice as compensation. Aethercurrent? Sure. I don't know how you kept that in your pocket, though. Alright, the next blue quest is up here somewhere. Is it in this building? Oh, no, there we go. Nakente. Auntie knows best. Nakente is fretting over her young charge, as she is wont to do. Oh, Shallow, what am I to do with you? I keep telling you to take a hunter with you when you leave town. Does she have an old lady face? Yes, she does. Okay. Well, if it isn't Her Majesty's guest, did you enjoy your tour of Yuppie's Halo? I was told you even helped set the water distribution system to rights. You know, I could really use someone with your talents right about now. The woman in charge of that very farm just left for the wilderness without a bodyguard. Seems to me she's investigating something, but that's no reason to put herself in danger. Last I heard, she was seen walking up the hill to the east of the farm. Could you go and make sure she's all right? Yeah, it obviously would have been more optimal for us to do these at the same time, but that's not how I like to do these. Oh, what a relief. You're looking for a young Shitona by the name of Shaloki. Shaloki is probably Key. Anyway, now off you go, and thank you, dear. Alright, let's head back to the Thunder Yards once again. I figured it was going to be that, considering that's like literally the only area we have unlocked at this point in the story. It makes sense that they would just send us to the Thunder Yards for each one of them. I think like literally these quests unlock after you meet Kakiwa and meet the members of Oblivion. I don't mind doing these inefficiently because the whole point of this is to focus on the story, and even if it's just like a minor little thing like that soldier, like the scientist testing the soldier's capabilities. I mean, I specifically stream this because, or at least make videos for it and record it because I want to get more out of the story. It's the same reason that I do the book reviews, or in the book reviews and write-ups, or at least I try and do them. I haven't done one in like 2 months. Even though I've read like 5 books. I just haven't like taken the time to do any of them. Is this a B rank? No, that's a Fate. Alright, there, another purple circle of doom. Maybe you should have taken a hunter, Loki. Oops, wrong button. It's holding shift instead of control. There we go. Maybe you should have taken a hunter. Auntie knows best after all. Good gods be good. That was the last of my soul cells. I could have really died there. Thanks for your help, by the way. So, what brings you here to the middle of nowhere? You? By the way, are you free later? Sorry, that snuck out. Auntie Nakente sent you after me? That makes 2 people who just saved my life then. Would you mind coming with me to see her? I want her to know I'm safe and grateful besides. It's probably going to be the... this quest line will probably continue. Since usually they have one quest line which continues on each area. For each group of Aethercurrent blue quests. I suspect this is the one that's going to continue on. Anyway, let's teleport back to the outskirts. You know, one thing I'm going to need to make sure of is to actually get to level 100 before we finish the, before we get to the level 100 quest. I think I'll be getting enough XP just from the MSQ quests. MSQ quest, QQ. But I think I'll probably get some extra XP from the exploration stuff because there's a bunch of areas here that'll give me a little bit more. Maybe let's talk to her, the young one first. But okay, I'm sorry. What did I tell you? Welcome back, dear. I can't thank you enough for rescuing this poor reckless fool of a girl. You're not a child anymore, Shiloh. Act your age. Now, what do you have to say to this kind stranger who saved your life? I know I already told you once before, but thank you. Truly. I'm Shiloki, especially since she's actually introducing herself and everything. I think this will be continuing on. And I'm in charge of Yuppie's Halo. Well, yeah, if she's fully in charge of all of the farming stuff, then that actually makes her a little bit more significant of an NPC for this area, and not just some scientist. To tell you the truth, I'm still learning how everything works. I used to be an electropy engineer, but for some reason, the government reassigned me. Probably was digging a little too deep. And I'm Nakente, the farm's coinkeeper, or resident nag, depending on who you might ask. Might we get your name, hero? You didn't actually say anything, but your lips moved and somehow words went in my head. Brilliant, rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? That's a name you'd best not forget, Shallow. You'd be dead were it not for her. Now why in the world would you leave the safety of the outskirts all by yourself? You've been acting strangely of late. It's clear you're hiding something, so what is it? Probably a boyfriend or something. There really is no getting anything past you, is there? Fine, I'll explain. But you have to promise to keep it a secret for now, alright? The truth is, I noticed that the farm's harvest have been shrinking year over year, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. The staff— oh yeah, this is definitely going to lead into a custom delivery NPC of us trying to fix the farms. The staff are all doing great work, and as for a former engineer, I can say for certain that the equipment is all in proper working order. I even checked the pylons, and the readouts were totally normal. But I know there's a problem, and the longer I wait, the worse it will get. In a few years, the crops may stop growing entirely. Something has to be done. Well, it sounds serious, and I appreciate that you're taking the initiative to solve it. But I worry about you, Shallow. I can't have you putting your life in danger. Brilliant! Would you be willing to help her look into the matter? Not yet, but once this turns into a custom delivery NPC, I'll go ahead and do it. As an outsider, your idea of normal is sure to be different from ours. I reckon a fresh set of eyes will be able to spot something we can't. She's right. I could certainly use an unbiased perspective. Would you please help me, Brilliant? I mean, it's not like I literally can't say no, so. Right then. With that settled, I think you ladies need now is a good meal. Oh, I like the sound of that. Have a seat and your Auntie Nakente will fix you some fresh veggies. I like the sound of this. I get to have a lunch date with a cute bun girl, and I get to be fed by her aunt. That sounds like a win-win in my book. And I get an Aethercurrent. Win-win-win! That's a triple win right there. Yeah, I'll come back and do that quest line later, once this turns into a custom delivery NPC. Alright, the next one is out here, where we entered the Orogenics. I still felt like that was a weird dungeon. So let's head on over there. Wonder if it's going to be with the blind girl we met. Because she seemed like she was going to be slightly more significant to the story than they had. Because I think all she literally did was point us in the right direction to find Galulja. I mean, there were some other NPCs there. Also, I need to actually, like, get the discovery for whatever the heck this thing is. Oh yeah, there's a wall there. Probably jump over it. Let me just double check the Aether Compass. Southeast. I mean, they're both to the southeast, so that isn't very useful. I thought that turret was level 89. I'm like, what? Why? Let's see. Oh no, Tapu was the blind one. Looks like we're gonna be helping out. Yeah. I mean, it's another bun girl, so I mean, I'm happy. Fit for survival. I need to look up. Okay, what is that? What does that version of fit mean? Oh, it's a plant for phyto. Okay, that's a way of putting. Okay, it's the prefix for phyto. Like, I guess that would be for like photosynthesis. Anyway, Yopya is gazing anxiously up and down the path. Excuse me, do you have a moment? If you're headed south, I would ask a favor. My friend went out to study the plant life and hasn't come back yet. He has a bad habit of getting absorbed in his work and losing track of time. Last I saw him, he was headed southeast of here. If you could just check in on him, I would sorely appreciate it. Okay, sounds good to me. Yep, to the south. Let's head on over there. I don't know how we can just magically locate him and we get an orange circle on our map. Yeah, so the first Aethercurrent is all the Aethercurrents are all the way down to the south here, so we're not even gonna get close to them. And I guess that means I'm gonna teleport here, and I'm glad I actually went and got that Aetherite. Because when I did that, and then I had to run all the way back over here to get back to the Ghoul Jaw. But now I'll be able to teleport to here. We'll go ahead and grab this one, this Aethercurrent, and then we'll go ahead and do that blue quest, which will hopefully take us over to the other one. Hello, passionate phytologist. Now, this is a fascinating succulent. Its development is clearly abnormal. Proof, perhaps, that this species has adapted to its new environment over time. Hello there. Hello there, stranger. What are you doing out here? What are you doing out here? For that matter, what am I? That's right. I didn't read ahead. Did you get distracted and wander out of the safe zone again? That sounds like what you did. Yopya's probably worried sick about me. I'll have to thank her for sending you. But first, we need to hurry back to the Drift Downs before some terrifying creature tries to ruin our day. Escort. I don't like the sound of that. Well, let's escort him. I figured, like, oh, there wasn't anything. Oh, what? Are you gonna follow me? Oh, there. Now you're coming. Okay. Yeah, actually, this makes sense because because the other two ones we did had a purple circle of doom, and there wasn't anything to fight at the end of there, so it makes sense that it would have to be an escort mission. So are we actually gonna have to fight anything? Usually, yeah, there we go. Usually they spawn stuff. Oops. Whoops, gonna waste my third charge there. Oh well, at least it's on the shorter one. Alright, there any other we're gonna need to fight? I wonder if I just fall off the edge here, if he'll just teleport down there. Yeah, let's keep on running. I'm gonna try falling off the edge here, seeing if he'll just teleport down here, or if I'll, like, maybe I can skip one of the triggers, the spawn triggers. Because this is too close to have something spawn. Oh yeah, he just teleports down here. That's easy. Alright, Yopya. Welcome back. Glad to see you're both in one piece. Forgive me, Yopya. I was so focused on the plants we know. I nearly wandered headfirst into danger. If you hadn't sent this kind stranger my way, there's no telling what might have happened. Now, I'd better document my findings before I forget. Thank you again, ladies. Oh good, now he's gone. Anyway, you free later? Oops, gotta zoom out. Sorry about him. He grew up in Everkeep, you see, so he's not used to seeing plants in their native habitat. And Heritage Found is rather unique in that regard. Well, I'd say it's basically a combination of two different shards. Shards? Yeah, I guess that's the right term. I think that's right. 30 years ago, when the geography changed, vast swaths of natural flora died out while the rest were forced to mutate drastically in order to survive. Worthy of studying, I'm sure. Still, you ought to know he's not safe out here. I wish he wouldn't be so careless. In any case, I'm grateful to you for keeping him safe, and seeing as he didn't think to reward you for it, I suppose I'll have to do it. I swear, he'd forget his head if it wasn't attached. Oh, I guess I'm just getting an Aethercurrent, not a date. Well, that's boring. Anyway, let's go and teleport down to the Electro Spike. And then I'll run over and grab this Aethercurrent. Okay, let's head on south. That should be the one, right? Yes, southeast. That's where we're headed. Let's go ahead and get this Aethercurrent. Now, is this going to be up on like a ridge and I'm going to need to run all the way around or something? Yeah, looks like it. I mean, that's kind of to be expected. Yeah, it looks like it would have to be on the other side. Because obviously this way looks like a pretty sheer cliff. I don't think there's any way I can Skyrim horse or, well, Skyrim griffin my way up there. Oh yeah, there's a way to up here. Hello, Iclops? Not a Cyclops, it's an Iclops. And a bunch more succulents. Ah, there's the Aethercurrent. I should be able to Skyrim griffin my way up here. This reminds me of Belsar's Wall in Gridania / Garabania. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's get this Aethercurrent. Alright, the next Aethercurrent should be right around here. So let's go ahead and head down and pick up that blue quest. Hopefully that'll take us around and buy the Aethercurrent. We'll be able to get a 2-for-1 deal. Looks like I need to head more over this direction. I'm still kind of curious what all this is. Unless this is like Alexandria, like the actual Alexandria. And not, because like this is obviously Ysolani over here. Okay, now where do we need to go here? Oh, okay. There's a bridge here. A natural rock formation. Alright, there it is. Oh, nice. Another bun girl. I'm liking these quests. Definitely the best zone in the game. Now, if you could scram other person. Hello, Uishi. He who remembers. Uishi's problem is perhaps best solved by an outsider like you. Now here's a face I haven't seen around these parts before. Could I borrow a moment of your time? Ma'am, you can have more than a moment. You see, a member of our group has been making frequent trips up the hill to the graveyard. I suspect there's a problem, but he doesn't seem willing to talk about it. Not to us, anyway. A stranger willing to lend a friendly ear, however, may convince him to open up. If it's not too much to ask, will you travel out to the name slates and speak to him? The man you're looking for is a Shatona, like myself. What? I thought Shatona were... Oh, no, those are, what do they call them? Or is Shatona just the regional... I thought Shatona was the name for cures here. Or is that the name for the buns? No, the cures have a different name. I forget what it is, though. And then, of course, the cats have their own names as well. But I forget what that is, too. Anyway, looks like it's in the opposite direction where we need to go, but at least I'll get another exploration area and a little bit more experience. So let's head on over there. Yeah, okay, that unlocks this area. Yep, this is definitely a graveyard. Yeah, obviously it's a graveyard. There's a bunch of graves. Also seems slightly dangerous with all the enemies around. Well, let's take a look. Bun boy. Well, I mean, this'll have to do it, won't it? I must admit, this is not the sort of place one expects to make idle conversation with strangers. Are you one of those travelers from beyond the barrier everyone's been talking about? Yes, I am. That explains why I haven't seen you around. Let me ask you something, outsider. Have you ever visited a grave to pay respects? Well, I do frequently press F on my keyboard, but usually that activates an ability. I mean, we'll go with this, because I have in the story before. Honoring the dead is a common aspect of many cultures, I suppose. In that case, perhaps you can help me with something. Take a stroll around the area, and if you happen to spot any particular grimy gravestones, ask that you wipe them off. It's a lot of work for one man alone, so your assistance would mean a great deal to me. Okay, I guess I can do that. I remember when Old School RuneScape came out, and they changed the herbs from unidentified herbs to grimy herbs. I kept on reading it wrong, and I kept on calling them grimy. And then I finally, I think I heard somebody, say them. And I finally say grimy, I'm like, oh, of course that's how you say it. Because like I had heard grimy before, I just didn't understand. I just didn't know how it was spelled. Oh yeah, there's another word that I had read in a book a million times and I had heard it said, but I didn't realize it was the same word. I forget exactly what the word was though, unfortunately. It was a fairly common word. It was like it wasn't methodical, it was some other word. Anyway, let's talk to him again. Those gravestones look much better now, thanks to you. Or perhaps I should say name slates. Too bad the names are all written in Alexandrian. Didn't I literally establish that Alexandrian is pretty much the same as the common tongue? Or I guess it doesn't necessarily mean that the writing is the same. I can't make heads or tails of them. Do you know about regulators people wear these days? Whenever someone dies, every last memory of their existence is erased. As an unfortunate consequence, this graveyard is all but abandoned. You know, I hadn't even thought of that. Like, why would they have graveyards if they just erase everyone's existence? But I'm going to fix that. What else am I to do? Stand idly by and let the headstones be lost to time? No. If no one else will give a damn, then it will have to be me. In Troll, I was taught to honor the dead, and here I am in the minority. Most seem content to forget and entrust their memories to the cloud. That's why I can't talk about it with the others. They wouldn't understand, not like you do. Thanks again, stranger. Interesting. I would think that this questline will be continuing. Or not. Alright, that is all the quest Aethercurrents, I believe. Yes, let's head on over and get the last one. Should be to the west here, yes. Let's head on over there. Over to that giant geyser. Yes, so that should be, yeah, I believe it's over here. And then that'll be the last of the Aethercurrents. It should be over here somewhere. Yeah, 161. Submerged skyline. Oh, I just noticed this is an actual, like, castle. Interesting. Ah, there's the Aethercurrent. Let's go ahead and get this, and that should wrap things up. Nice. Heritage found. Aethercurrent attunement complete. Let's fly on up here. Nice. It's always so satisfying to finish Aethercurrents. I know I say it almost every single time we do Aethercurrents, but it really isn't that bad.